So George, how did you feel about your first pro race?
I was surprised. Going into it, didn't think that I probably would have done as well as I ended up doing. And coming into T2 with the people that I've raced in the past and never thought I'd be coming into T2 with was a pretty cool feeling. I'd be interested in how much of that actually came from the new bike.
Firstly, I'm disturbed by your lack of faith. But moving on to your race performance, went really well. You moved up from 13th to 5th. Last year you were 25 minutes behind the winner. This year you're 12 minutes behind. So relative to the field, pretty significant improvement. You did ride the target time. We were aiming to get down to 208 and you rode a 208.03, so we've ticked off all the boxes. It is worth noting that the new course was faster, but then the environmental conditions were slightly worse with a bit stronger wind and a bit lower temperatures. Overall, the changes allowed you to ride the target time with only a small increase in power. We had to factor in putting out a bit higher power than that, which was probably then factoring you running nearly 10 minutes faster. So overall, a much faster package thanks to the work we've done. Now, of course, the running, probably an element of that is another year's experience, a bit more racing, a bit more training, but in the end, our goal was to make you faster, and we've certainly done that. Looking at the results in the context of our project, we did show that bike position was the most important for aerodynamics, that we, in some ways, downgraded your equipment relative to what you had last year, and you still went faster. On the night of the Trinity, both the men's race and the women's race were won by riders on giant Trinities, with customised parts and the aero bars to get a good position, but certainly there's nothing wrong with that bike in the general sense. The point of our budget limited project was to show that by focusing on position, getting the key things right, you can be competitive without having a super bike. And despite your surprise at how well that worked, I think it's definitely been a worthwhile demonstration of that principle. Our goal is efficiency, that you've got to get to the finish line as fast as possible. And in this case, that meant that you didn't necessarily ride as fast as you could have. You rode as fast as you needed to for the race, and then ran as fast as you could. So, what are you going to ride for your next race?
It's a bit of a tough one, because next I'll be racing Challenge Monaco, which is, I think, a notoriously hard course. And currently with the single ring, I don't think I'd even get around it. So I think it's back to the drawing board, and we might have to do the project 2.0.
Well, we can certainly repurpose this bike, maybe add some gears since you're not man enough for the 55 single ring. The next step is to find the balance. This was very much a bike tailored for going fast on the flat in a relatively straight line, so we might need to find a little bit of a compromise for the future. As far as takeaways for anyone watching this, very few people are going to get into the same kind of position. We'd worked on your position for a couple of years leading into this, which gave you more freedom to adopt a very low position. It's also not realistic for every rider to be doing a single front ring with a massive gear, making a disc at home. There's a few parts of this project that aren't generally applicable. But what is applicable is the principle that if you want to get faster, you need to focus on efficiency, get your position as aerodynamic as it can be without sacrificing comfort and power, make the equipment changes that fit within your budget and will have the most impact. Rushing straight to buying ceramic bearings or dithering over which aero helmet you should get, generally not the first places you should start. Go for position, go for tyres, go for the big things, and train, of course, because more power always helps. In my example, riding in the team, the fastest team rider put out 70 watts more than I did. It's quite hard to overcome that. So for our viewers, the takeaway that you really need from this is get your bike bit sorted, and that will help more than anything else you can do.